Hello, Sullivan University. My name is Keyshawn Brown, and today I will be making a simple egg and cheese omelet. As you can see, I got my salt, my pepper. I have a whole ham, even though you don't need one. I like to cut it up so I can use it inside my omelet. 3 large eggs and a simple Kraft and Cheese Mexican 4 cheese mix. Your first step is going to be to heat up your stove to make sure it's ready for cooking whenever you get to it. The next thing you're going to want to do is crack 3 eggs, which I'm not going to do because I only have 1 free hand right now. And make sure you have your pan and everything ready. And while you're at it, go ahead and grab yourself some butter that you're going to use to butter your pan. The next step is the 3 eggs that were in your small container, go ahead and whisk them up. And at this stage, a lot of people like to season their eggs, but I don't recommend it just purely for the fact that the whites will separate from the yolk. So you don't really want that. You want one consistent color, but you also don't want to mix it too much because then you'll get a foamy product that comes out with white patches, and you don't really want that. You want a solid yellow object. Go ahead while you're at it and cut up your ham and or meat. You can add peppers and stuff to it too, but I'm just doing a simple ham and cheese. You're only really going to need about half an ounce to 1 ounce of cut ham, purely for the fact that you don't want to overbear the eggs. You don't want too much salt because this is cured ham. And then finally, what you're going to want to do is take your butter and butter your pan. Once you have butter in your pan, what you want to do before beginning your omelet is add your filling to have it heated and ready whenever you add it to your omelet. Browning of the butter for your innards is not bad. You don't always have to have it that way. But you want to have something that's crisp and nice for the inside, because this is the savory part of your omelet. You can even save the grease for your omelet to add flavor, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to still just use butter. A little bit of popping. If you want, transfer over to the other side. Lose some of that heat. And then transfer to a plate when complete. Once you put your pan onto the stove, you want your butter to start bubbling before you start putting your egg in. You don't want to burn your butter or add too much butter, because both can ruin the flavor. So then, go ahead and add your egg. Evenly distribute it to every side of the pan. And you're still not wanting to season just yet, or add your meat and or other objects into it, because it's still in a really early stage. But what you do want to have on hand is a spatula to pick at the edges. So what we're going to be waiting on is the edges to cook before we begin flipping it. Once it starts looking like this and the edges are clearly starting to get cooked, you want to try and prevent bubbles from forming. And if you can, move it off from heat so it doesn't overcook. And take your spatula and attempt to flip over to one side of your pan. It may not be a perfect flip, but just attempt to roll your omelet. What you want to try and have is have a half open omelet so you can add your filling on the inside alongside with your cheese, which I'm going to try and do over here. Take some of my ham and try to distribute it out into the middle portion of my omelet. So what you're going to want to do is add your omelet with your filling back to the pan so you can heat up the insides as well as melt the cheese. I like to add my salt and pepper now so it sits on top nicely. It hasn't cooked away from all the butter and stuff that sits at the bottom. Just wait until you hear some nice popping. You don't want to brown it too much because that'd kind of ruin it. You still kind of want a solid yellow color. Give it a little time. Hear that nice bubbling at the bottom. And then remove from heat. Remember to turn your stove off. You don't want it left on. Let that sit for a second and then get a transfer plate. Your final product should look something like this, nicely seasoned on top with some of the filling sticking out in the front. I went ahead and poured myself some chocolate milk to go with this breakfast. Go ahead and cut into this, and as you can see, nice steamy fillings with the ham and cheese sticking out. And you want nice stick, it's just evenly laid out. There's not one bit that's missing a piece of cheese or ham. And there you go. That's how you make a ham and cheese omelet breakfast. You can go ahead and add sides to it like hash browns if you so please, but I just chose to stick to the omelet. And yeah,